We said there'd be volatility, and volatility, there it was. We said it would go up or down and then revert to the mean. And of course, that's exactly what she did here. No big surprise. No big surprise. With no big money coming in. We're just going to be riding the trip fandango around moving averages. Nothing surprising to be had here. Fear and Ingrid dumps to 25. Oh my God, extreme fear we're back in. Bitcoin dominance 62.1, 24-hour volume 132. We haven't been under 100. We haven't been over 132K in a long time. We've been like hovering around 60, and like as soon as we're under 60, it's like that old air conditioner that's in the third room in the third floor of the house that barely works and has the little things that just. It's like, why are we even? This is juicing up our hydro here. Market cap 2.65 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Kind of reminds me of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I should learn that. That's probably I should spend 12 hours learning that song for the one person who requests it in 6 months from now that I'll probably forget. So here it is. Look at that candle. Look at that candle of volatility. Wow. Couldn't even get back up to our channel of ascension. That's okay. It's okay. But listen, this is another one of those opportunities where you guys can take a screenshot. I'm actually going to put something here. Let's put a, should it be a heart? Nah. What emoticon should we have here? I thought this was, a text, right? So we'll put a, no, I guess it is we'll put a heart. Black and white heart? Come on. There it is. Yeah, right there. Let's call it 89K. So if you want to get your screenshots ready, I'll explain why this is important after the screenshot. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to my modeling days in one of my 5 never dates. So this is the reason why, unless we enter this channel again, and we will. But until then, Hobie one, I'd watch a piano tutorial. The thing is, here's what you don't know about the Mr. Rogers theme song. It's probably one of the most difficult piano pieces out there. Now, your memory of it is, and it's generally like it follows the same thing, but it's so complicated because I've tried it. I've chipped away at that song, but like even the beginning. Like it's the guy who played it was like one of the most masterful piano players of the 20th century. And he was just sitting there on Mr. Rogers' set, and he played it live like throughout the production of the show. So it's crazy. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, we're all right. We have to get back into maybe not 6 cups of coffee. It's only 2 today. Was it 2? Maybe 3. So this is it. So anything underneath this little green heart is just noise, bearish noise, mind you, weakness. However, this is where we got to be. Now, if we zoom out to make a little more sense of this, you can see we did break bearish out of it, which you do. It's an ascending channel. This is what ascending channels usually do. Not always, just the probabilities are high that they do most of the time, and they did. And so we've been trying to get back up and over. It was the uncertainty. There was a certain bullish flare in the market yesterday as price started to pump. People were like, "Hey," they didn't want to jinx it. They're like, "I don't want to jinx it right now, but I'm pretty sure the Bitcoin price is pumping." And then, of course, when news spread, they're like, oh, let me check my phone. Let me check my phone. It's not pumping. It's absolutely dumping. And this is the funny thing is about these tariffs. This will be an unpopular opinion, and generally I feel my life is just a potpourri of unpopular opinions. And I'll say that a bunch of times. A potpourri of unpopular opinions, a potpourri of unpopular opinions, a potpourri of unpopular opinions. This is why it's an unpopular opinion, because we're dealing with some real tough issues in the economy that were created by, just a horrible regime. And before that, compounding horrible regime. So it's going to take a lot of pain to get through this. And is it going to be more pain than we saw from 2021 to here? No. In fact, take a look at this. This is pretty interesting. This is the monthly chart. And let's say we close red. Say we close red on this monthly chart. Now, it isn't historically unusual to have 3 red months, particularly in the second quarter. Where do I have my second quarters? Yeah, so we have the second quarter here. Last year started bullish, ended bearish. The year before that, kind of a wash. 2022 started bullish, ended hella bearish. And then this is what I want to look at. Quarter 2 of 2021, the bull run. And now we have here multi-sig dummy. Curious, remind me when I'm talking about this, but every time I see carnivore, I feel like it's a good opportunity to explain it. But if I forget where I was going with this, Sneaky Pete, please remind me. Curious about your carnivore diet. How's it going? Besides meat, what do you eat? I have 200 pounds of venison steak. I'm thinking about starting. What times do you eat also? Too much information? No. I'll give you Cole's notes of it. Usually when people start the carnivore, they start it with like ribeye steaks, right? And it's financially unsustainable. Like you can't be eating $30 steaks, once or twice a day. It's pretty expensive. But I, being the bargain gumshoe I am, I could just basically juggle sales going on in the city, right? So I could bring ribeyes down to $18 to $22. But the thing that I switched to in the past, I did that for about 9 or 10 months, strictly just the steaks. But around the month 9, I started eating ground beef with lots of fat. And that was a huge game changer for me because the satiation was so immense that if I really wanted to, I could eat once a day, right? But I basically have one big meal around 1. And I might. So after the stream, no, I won't eat. I won't. So I'll have lunch at 1. But sometimes, if I'm up at 4 to make a production video, remember when the price ceased to move? We have things to talk about. So I would eat around 9:30, which is 5 hours after waking up, and I would have a little bit of ground beef, a little bit. So I would bookend the day with some ground beef. And so when I would come home, when Duke's having dinner, sometimes I sit there and not eat anything, but usually I like to take a little bit of ground beef and just to carry me through to the next day. But sometimes I don't. No, I would say 90% I do. But generally, the pivot to ground beef has been a real game changer, and it's a little easier on the wallet. However, I do get my own. I'll get my own loin and cut it up. I was gonna make a video of that. Because I'm really shitty at it, so it would be pretty fun. Carl Elder, thank you for the super chat. You did. Oh, he says, hits the likes, people. Hit it all day long. Hit the likes. You listen to this song, C# major 7th. Reason why it makes sense to resolution for this little passage I'm playing is because the major 7th is the C, but we're in C#. You can see how dissonant this is if we were down here in the mud. Doesn't sound good. It sounds like a horror movie, like but when it's up here, it's almost like music to my ears. Then it resolves, of course, because it's C, resolved to the C. You see how you're like hanging by a thread? Oh, someone let me down. I'm hanging by a thread here. I can't hold on much longer. Someone please resolve it to the tonal center, aka C major. And in a nutshell, that's thank you for the super chat, Carl Older. Much appreciated. Now, the interesting thing about Q2, so here we are starting Q2. Now we are, some say, truncated a little early in this cycle. And let's just, all right, not that it makes a difference, but we like to say things to make ourselves feel better about where price is. It's truncated. Oh, I get it. Yeah. It makes me feel like 6% better, even though I'm not really sure why it makes me feel better. But here we are. Let's say we do have 3 red candles. It's not historically abnormal. Crypto Princess, good morning. How you doing today? Lovely Britain. Is it UK? You're in London, right? Or maybe I'm not sure. Or maybe I've forgotten. The accent says you're not from Canada. That's for sure. No do to boot that. So anyway, here we are, Q2, April on the Dizot. We had 3 monthly red candles. Now, here's the wild part about this. And for some reason, I forgot it because as a longtime hodler, I forget pain, right? It's like, I don't remember it doing this. I knew there was something bad about it, but I'm not sure what it was because it gets foggy as the years go by. But check this out. From wick to wick, 56% drop. Now, what's more wild about that is that I don't remember the Bitcoinosphere being completely emasculated and like, that's it, where it's over. There was still so much optimism back here, and this was a 56% drop. Now, price-wise, we're talking about 65 to under 30. So we went under 30K, which is pretty crazy. So to put it into perspective, how violent that was, but how resilient the market still was, because make no mistake, we went back up and put in a higher high. Now it was negligible. Got $4,000 a month. Bitcoiners, who cares? So let's just say we saw that same drop of 56%, not saying we're going to, just saying, it has happened, though it's not historically abnormal. 56% down from here. Come on. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we got 46,000. No, let's just call it 47K. 47K, we would basically, those dastardly little kids, we'd basically candlestick all these wicks. That which once wicked will get candlesticked. Can you imagine if those dastardly kids came back to haunt us with this candlestick of Wiccan, the old fabled myth of that which once wicked will get candlesticked? That's when I would basically start, we're not worthy to that myth, right? Because that would basically, okay, it stamped every goddamn ticket on the board. Now, you think sentiment's bad now. Imagine if that happened. But it would look a lot different, because this would have to be like one of the most epic red candles in history, because I really don't think we could still be talking about a bull market if, let's say, we just continued down through the summer bummer, right? You can't tell me, in July, after 6 red monthly candles in a row, that we'd be sitting here talking about a bull market. We would be in complete denial. six, like there's not even six monthly red candles in a row in a bear market. Take a look at this when we're arguably at the top. 1, 2, 3, 2 up, and then 1, 2, 3. So we had a 2 candle break, 2-month break until we continued down, and that was the bear market, right? So those they're the questions you don't really want to ask. We don't have to answer them right now because we're not there. I'm just saying we've gone there, 56% down, and we've come back. Now, I don't think we're going to do that, because some of the hard facts about this economy is that these people, this administration, that are complete Bitcoiners, not some. It's basically an army of Bitcoiners who are in charge. Now, I'm almost giving them too much credit here when I'm saying they understand time preference, time horizons. And to a certain degree, I think they do as old school TardFi investors. But to say that they understand the low time preference of a Bitcoin hodler, I don't know. Maybe that's giving them too much credit, because what the hell do they know about Bitcoin? And that's what I'm afraid too. So my other fear, it's been a scary stream kind of, except for that beautiful major C# major 7th chord, just a palate cleanser. There, it's not so favorable. But speaking of fear, is that, let's say there's another regime change in 2028. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, right? I don't think there will be. I think there will be a succession plan, because what's going to happen is that we're going to see this economy turn around. It's basically, it has to, or else we'll see a regime change, right? They have till midterms to basically start performing. It's kind of shitty, because maybe it's not enough time, but we need to see that by, a year, right? So can we start completely course correcting in a year economically? Yeah. And it happens fast, this slowly, then all of a sudden, what are we at likes here? Sneaky Pete 47. Imagine that. Imagine bringing Duke back into the cryptosphere. I don't see it happening. At the 100 likes gets Duke out here. I just don't see it happening until there's major price improvement. Anyway, anything's possible. So we have till the basically the midterms for this economy to, look at this frog in me throat. This is my third, actually, now that I'm drinking, and this is my third cup of black coffee. Do a little ASMR so I can put in the hashtags. I won't put in the hashtags. So that will turn around the market, and if it doesn't happen, well, you can for sure basically say that there will be a regime change. However, let's say it doesn't come back as fast as they want, and they start losing kind of the midterm euphoria. Right now, we're seeing a lot of the Trump euphoria waning, because people live in a Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? I don't want to know what's going to happen in 9 months. I want today to be better than yesterday. And if it's not, I hate you. It's essentially what it is. But there is a chance that if it doesn't return by midterms, it'll kind of boomerang up for the re-election in 2028. But let's just go down the road that doesn't come up, and there's a regime change. Imagine a bunch of dummies getting into the White House and like, yeah, I like this. One thing is this stockpile, the stockpile of Bitcoin. What the F? Whose idea was this stockpile of Bitcoin? Is that dirty internet money? Forget it. Get rid of it. Look at that. We could sell this, and we could maybe take down some taxes. No, we won't take down taxes. That's crazy. But we could sell it. So that's what I'm worried about 2028. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, because that'll be the next cycle on the way up. So there's a good chance that we'll see that happening. And if we don't, like I said, it comes down to monetary policy. That's just the thing. Bruce Mai says back to gold. Yeah, gold. In my simulation, gold is my little laughing stock, so to speak, because people have asked me, do you regret selling gold? Because remember, gold is what brought me to Bitcoin. Do you regret selling your gold for Bitcoin? I'm like, no, hell no. So you gotta listen that in order for me to regret, and here we go, I'm testing the simulation. In order for me to regret selling the gold to Bitcoin, gold would have to get to $10,000 in order for me to go, And at that, it would almost be a wash, depending on when you get in this market. So right now, Bruce, you can't chase shiny Johnny come latelys. Gold is up, which is good for Bitcoin, which means Bitcoin's probably going to start moving up. It's just the way these markets, we don't work at the same time, but historically gold goes up, Bitcoin goes up. But my argument to that is that when I bought gold at 2000, I think, 2000, we're talking about 2018, 19, it was $2,000 and it sat there for years and now it's at 3,000. So it roughly went up 50%. Is that right? 50% of their 7 or 8 years. Bitcoin's 300, 400, 500%. So you have to keep the eye on the ball, right? You got to keep no matter if we don't like the numbers, no matter if we don't like the data, we got to keep our eye on the ball. Free and fighting. Gold is currently down $78. Oh my God, sell it. Sell the gold. Now, I will always have a soft spot for gold because gold is what brought me to Bitcoin. It's the understanding of sound money. Gold is the gateway drug to Bitcoin. I saw an article. Is this the article I had? No, it's not. National emergency as Trump's tariffs dent crypto prices. See, this is like this title's like my title. Trump destroys Bitcoin or whatever. It's almost like if you're in the carnivore type of in YouTube, if you watch carnivore videos like I do, they're all opposite. This person died of a heart attack because of carnivore. And I was like, what the hell? Click. It's just like it's like the carnivore YouTubeosphere is okay with complete clickbait stuff. I know Bitcoin really isn't. Mr. Mark, Bitcoin hasn't even dropped below last week's low. Take a breath and stack Satoshis. Jimmy Coco, gold is good, but it's a shelter-in-place asset. No crossing of a border with it. Yeah, that was one of the reasons. That's one of my big things that I always talk about with gold too. Is like, what are you going to do with it? You're like, you're going to sit on it like a big hen, make sure that no one takes it, or do you have a third party risk and it's you're paying a big hen to sit on it and store it. I'm not saying that gold isn't great. Gold is a great. I think everyone should have a little bit of gold. I don't have any more gold anymore, so I still think it's great, and I don't have any of it. So there's that. Bitcoin sales at 109K, all-time high, significantly below cycle top's glass node. Yeah, there it is. Significantly. When we were talking about diminishing returns back in the day, remember? It's like we could have done. No one liked to hear that, right? But there's an upside to diminishing returns. It means we won't have so many punishing lows. So, like I said, we're down about 30% from the all-time high for the first time in this bull run. Yeah, well, one might argue last summer bummer, we did it again. We came down 30%. But if that's a first signal that the cycle was kind of bizarre. There's something suspect about the cycle. Because if we go back here, let's take a look at that. This is the summer bummer. You don't see a summer bummer because this is the monthly chart. So I'm not going to go from time frame to time frame. So if you just go back to 2021, there's no summer bummer. It's basically straight up and a little bit of chop and then straight down. So we went straight up. A lot of chops, 6-8 month summer bummer, then straight up again, and now we've kind of blown off. Oh, don't say blow off top. And now this is where we are. But look at this, this arbitrary doodle from the underrated doodle game. Thank you, Scotty Mo. Just kind of following it. Now, do you got to August 25 for it to go back up again over? My take is this. So what I didn't say about those two articles is that it talks about how people who got in 2020, 2021 aren't selling, which makes it, to me, it's like 2020, 21 are the Gen X of Bitcoin hodlers, right? Before that, you have people that have almost immense wealth in Bitcoin. So shaving, a mil or a couple hundo every time the price goes up isn't a big deal. But the 2020, 2021 class of Bitcoin hodlers are the Gen X's. It's like, no, I'm not selling. Yeah, it's at 109. F off. I'm not selling. It's at 600K. F off. I'm not selling. This thing's going to 10 million. It's like the most hardened class, the 2020, 2021, and people aren't selling. It's interesting. Maybe it's because they don't have enough exposure. So let's go the opposite way. Maybe let's say the class of 2021, some whales that got in, right? So it's not really the reason why there's such a Gen X type of class, 2020, 2021, is that we weren't able to, buy 300 Bitcoins for $3,000 or something, or $10,000. Do you know what I mean? Like we weren't able to become whales because we were like, what is this? Oh, it's $9,000. Ouch. Why would I buy anything for that? I'll tiptoe in. Oh, went up to 20,000. Oh, I should have bought more. Oh my God, it crashed. Now it's at 3,000. Oh, I'll buy a little more, I guess. Still 3,000 is crazy. Everyone's saying it'll go down to 1,000. Maybe I'll wait till 1,000, right? So the class of 2021 didn't ape in with these massive, whale-changing buys that we're sitting here with 100, 200, 500 Bitcoin. It's a different class. I can see the past class, 2016, 17, and for sure 2012, 13, 14. Those people are the class of whales, right? Where I can see them shaving off the top. But just look at this. This is what you have to realize. And this is the beauty of a low time preference. You, my friends, class of 2020, 2021, in 10 years, you will be what everyone on YouTube is talking about. You'll be the heroes that held through the FTX collapse, through the Trump administration tariff wars, through the X plus Y equals 2028 policy regime change. All that, the class of 2021 held through, and you will be revered as the old school ways, the heroes, the hodlers that did absolutely everything right. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.